are talking real estate tonight with Gabriela Lira, a broker at Compass Real Estate in the greater Nashville area. Gabriela is joining us and available to answer your questions, by the way. Go ahead and give us a call. 615-737-PLUS is the number. In the meantime, I'm going to ask a few more questions, Gabriela. I want to continue on this buyer side conversation. It seems we have so many buyers pouring into the mid-state. Many companies setting up shop here, others leaving places like California and New York really in droves. So that's really, when we have short supply of the housing, that's what's driving up prices, right?
That's right. So before COVID hit, we were already, the Middle Tennessee area was a place that attracted many companies. And so we had a lot of work-related moves. But once COVID hit and employers understood that my employee can work from home and be just as productive and allowed their employees to work from home, then the Middle Tennessee area also became the #1 COVID move destination. So not only are we getting people moving here for jobs, but we're also getting people moving here for a lifestyle change from big cities like New York and Los Angeles. So we do have a lot of relocating buyers. In addition to that, millennials, which is the largest generation, are all now hitting home buying age. And so we have millennials, we have relocations, and then we have everyone else in between wanting to buy a house.
And you brought up millennials. The millennials that work here at the news station, a lot of them say, I would love to buy a house. I feel it's what I should be doing at my age, but I can't afford to buy a house in Nashville. How do you counsel people who may come to you and say, I don't know if I have enough money or not. You know, I'm just 30 years old or I'm just 28. What do I do?
We have fantastic mortgage brokers and lenders that we work with who provide great counsel to our buyers. If you're thinking about buying a home and have some anxiety or are unsure of whether you can afford a home or not, talk to a mortgage lender now, because they can help you take the steps to prepare you to purchase a home. And you might not be ready now. Maybe you don't have enough for a down payment, or you need to work on your credit. Some people never check their credit. When they go and check their credit, they realize, oh, it's not as high as it should be. I could work on a thing or two. So start early is definitely one of the great pieces of advice that we give anyone contemplating making a purchase, because you might not be ready now, but you can get ready in 6 months or even a year.
Perfect advice. Let's continue on the buyer path here. I know a lot of this, especially in this kind of market, has to be helping your potential buyer with their emotions. It's so easy to fall in love with a house.
Yes, it is. So we prepare people up front. We tell them what the market is like. It is brutal out there for buyers, but don't despair. You might have to submit a few offers before yours gets accepted. And it's also a learning process along the way, because sometimes buyers, they're very conservative coming into the market, especially if they're first-time home buyers. But after losing out on maybe 1 or 2 homes, they decide that, hey, we need to be a little bit more aggressive in this market in order to win. Sometimes people shed tears, and it's heartbreaking right now. But I am a firm believer that what's meant to be yours will be yours no matter what. And so that if they lost out on a home, there's something greater for them out there just waiting.
What kind of compromises are buyers having to make right now?
So they are compromising on features, and sometimes they're compromising on location. They have a set budget, so then they have to decide, okay, maybe I can't buy my downtown pad. Maybe I'll go a little further outside of the city. Some people are looking, Ashland City, Madison. on the outskirts of Nashville, but within a reasonable distance from the downtown area. And sometimes they're compromising on features. So let's say they really wanted that 2-car garage, but maybe all they're able to get is a 1-car garage, and they're thinking that that's okay for now. Or instead of 3 bedrooms, they're okay with 2 bedrooms and, living there for a few years and then moving up.
I want to get your perspective on this. I remember reading a story, it was probably in 2021, about that mentality and having to make compromises, and people were settling homes just to get into a home, but when they really didn't like, and what that would mean for the future real estate market, what that would do. What's your perspective on that?
I think that interest rates are going up. We're seeing interest rates go up. I think that if you're a buyer, if I was buying my first home, I would just get into the market. People are moving every 3 to 5 years now. You don't have to buy your forever home now. You can buy your for now home, build equity, and 3 to 5 years from now, you can upgrade to your next home. So for me, I do believe that people should just buy something, get into the market. Doesn't have to be the perfect house. As a matter of fact, there is no perfect house unless you custom build a home. And even then, I've seen it not be the perfect house. So we do the 80-10-10 rule here. We tell our buyers, if you find a home that is 80% what you want, 10% you can live with, and 10% you can change, that is as close to a perfect home that you're going to get.
I've never heard that one before, but it does make a lot of sense as a person who's bought a couple of homes. I see where you're going with that.
Sure.
I want to switch now to the seller's perspective.
Okay.
A lot of people look at what their home is worth on, one of the websites that will give that to you, and you think, holy cow, I would love to sell my home right now. But there's really nowhere to go if you want to stay in the mid-state. I mean, you're trading one, you're getting a profit, but you may not keep it very long in the hand. So how do you prepare sellers for what's going on?
So it's very tempting right now for sellers to try and sell for sell by owner. Do not do it. You need an experienced and knowledgeable listing agent by your side for 3 main reasons. Number 1, buyers are getting really creative with the stipulations that they're adding to contracts, and things that you might think could be beneficial for you could end up turning around and biting you. I've seen so many pitfalls. For example, we're seeing a lot of pass-fail inspections. So what that means is that the buyer still has the right to come in and do an inspection, but they are either, after their inspection, going to pass you and move forward with the purchase, or they're going to fail you. Well, there is no language around what exactly constitutes a fail. So they might get the home under contract because they felt panicked to just get a home. They go in the house, they do their inspection, and really there's not much wrong with your house, but they get cold feet and they choose to fail you. So there is no parameter for what constitutes a fail. So you have to have an experienced agent on your side to be able to explain these things to you and what it could mean for you as the seller. Another thing, what happens when you get 30 offers? How are you going to go through 30 offers and compare apples to apples? Because they're all going to be very different. So an experienced listing agent will have a system in place to help you compare all the offers and ensure that you're selecting the one that is the most favorable to you.
Ooh, I want to dive into that a little bit. So if you're my real estate agent and I get 30 offers on my home, what's your strategy? How do you go through those?
So we talk about this up front. When we're going to list your house, we talk about some different strategies that we can take. And we decide at that point, sure, if we get 30 offers, this is what we want you to do, Gabriela. Some of them say, only bring me the top 5 offers. So they are giving me permission to go through all the offers myself, select the top 5 offers, because some are clear not winners. Some are clear not winners.
I like how you put that.
So we immediately remove those from the ones we present to the sellers and bring just the top 5 offers to the sellers. Some sellers like being very involved in the process. So we have some beautiful spreadsheets that compares every single item in the offer side by side, so that they can then see everything in the offer. It depends on the personality type. Some people are, don't want to know all the details. Some people like being involved in all the details. So we decide up front how they want to evaluate offers if we receive multiple offers.
Obviously, the price point has to be very important, but is it always the winning factor? The highest bid goes. It's not always the winning factor, believe it or not, because let's say we listed a house for $400,000 and we knew that at $400,000 we were pushing it for the comps in that neighborhood. We were priced very aggressively, and we get an offer that's $425 and we get another offer that's $450. Well, the offer that's $450, they still want to do an appraisal, and their offer is contingent on an appraisal. But the offer at $425, they said that they would cover the gap from $400,000 purchase price to $425. So we're guaranteed $425, and accepting this $475 offer is risky because we already know that we might not appraise for $475. Oh, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. That's why we have people like you on our side, Gabriela. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, go ahead and give us your questions. We'd love to answer them tonight. Phone lines are open, 615-737+. Stay with us.